Because you are a chosen race. You are a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a people for his own possession, that you will proclaim the wonderful things of him who called you out of darkness into this marvelous light. Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind. Set apart and set aside and do his work and bring him glory. Come on.
I'm not trying to blend in, I'm trying to stand out. I've been set apart for greatness, it's already planned out.
Hello, welcome to Truth Prevails. I saw this clip on the news about how Christians handle child abuse within the church, and it made me wonder how Jehovah's Witnesses are always being scrutinized about how they don't call the cops. So watch this clip, and I think witnesses should learn something about how they should handle these situations.
Well, that gets me all fired up for my next one. Now, this is one that just really frustrates me. We send our children to church as we should for adult guidance, so they'll have mentors, so they'll be taught the word. And then you have Andrew Weaver, who's 29, who's a youth pastor. He's married. He was a youth pastor at Highlands Church of Christ. But the church did the right thing. They heard about Andrew Weaver's misbehavior and notified the sheriff's office, and we started an investigation. He was counseling with a child, a 17-year-old girl. Inappropriately, I might add. He was, quote, giving her informal guidance. He asked to see photographs of her in the nude, which she just happened to have on her cell phone. She talked of fantasies that involved him, and one thing led to another. And instead of him being the adult in the room, instead of him being the appropriate counselor in the room, he creates a relationship with a 17-year-old child. Did I tell you he was 29 and married and a youth pastor? Well, on December the 29th, this minister met the 17-year-old at the church, and he put her in the car with him. And then he took her to a motel in Mulberry, and he rented a room. And he was having some inappropriate counseling with her at that time when an angel appeared at the door in the form of a maid and knocked on the door. Well, that freaked them out. They stopped their in-depth counseling and fled, and he took the young lady back to the church. She was not sexually battered, but they were engaging in inappropriate behavior. He was charged with attempted unlawful sex with a minor and interfering with child custody. The church did what was right. You can't look into a crystal ball and see how people are going to act in the future. There are hundreds of thousands of youth ministers that do the right thing every day and provide counsel and leadership and adult supervision to youth who are in need of appropriate leadership. This guy is an embarrassment to every one of those. We locked him up in the county jail. Certainly, we're angry with him, but for whatever reason, that maid went to the door. She was an angel that day because it freaked them out, and the rest of that inappropriate counseling session didn't take place.
Do you know if he's still working for the church?
I'm absolutely certain he's not working for the church. I haven't asked that question. It's more than obvious that he wouldn't be, because they're the ones that brought it to our attention when they learned of it. And I appreciate the church doing the right thing. They got him out soon and reported him to us. And we're going to hold him appropriately accountable with the criminal justice system. But let me share a little counseling with Andrew here. Andrew, Jesus don't like that. I'd even go so far to say he's pissed. Any questions?
Are there any other victims that you're aware of?
Not that I'm aware of. The investigation goes on. Certainly parents need to have conversations with their children to make sure there are no other victims. And it's not uncommon for there to be other victims, and it's also not uncommon for there not to be other victims, because they take a personal interest in one and not necessarily another.
Ruby says that contact occurred for approximately 5 months. So does that mean that this is a case in point, or that there was inappropriate touching, kissing, whatever, other times?
We are giving you the information that we're releasing. We are going to go deeper into our work with the young lady who's a victim. And we know that this was the instant case that came to our attention, but certainly, as you know, Ken, we always follow up to see what else might have occurred that would have been inappropriate. But at this point in the investigation, and when we talk to you, our investigations are just beginning. They're not ending. But this guy here, he's got an issue, a criminal issue.
Maybe I missed this, but how long was he a pastor at this church?
I'm not sure, but we can get that for you. Anything else? Thank you very much for being with us today. I appreciate it.
God was with me through it all.